tales from the flatlands and deep roots. Mike Bolin, and welcome to the next edition of the Flatlanders Show. We're glad y'all tuned in. In today's episode, I'm going to be doing a lot of things. We're going to start downstairs with my F-150 Ford. I'm putting on some roof rails on the top. It's a barren roof, and I purchased some roof rails from Amazon. They're the only ones I could find that were under $200. They looked pretty good. Of course, there weren't many comments. There are only 2 people that bought this product from Amazon. I had a lot of difficulty in finding any YouTube videos that showed the exact product of them putting up on the roof. And I've already put it on the roof just to see sort of how it works before I showed it to y'all. I thought it'd be interesting because if you're going to carry a kayak or a roof rack or anything like that, you need these on your pickup. And if you don't put these on that are sort of temporary, you have to go to a lot of effort and a lot of expense to get something up there, which I wanted to avoid. So first we're going to look at that, and I'm going to explain the process. I'm going to explain some of the problems I had with it. And you know, we'll just take a look at the whole project, and we can see if it's something that might be of some interest to some people out there wondering how to transport their kayaks. It's especially problematic if you have a travel trailer like I do. If you have a travel trailer, you can't pull triples in the state of Texas. So you're forced to bring your travel trailer, you have to drop it off and come get your boat and take it back. So I decided I was going to get one of these new Nucanoe Kayak, and with that I can fish all kinds of waters, and I can bring my travel trailer, just have my kayak on top of my truck. So that's sort of the end project of this, and I'm going to bring y'all along every step of the way. On today, first things first, we're going to get the roof rails up, and you can see the problems I had and see if there would be a good product for you. So let's get started. I wanted to start by showing you this advertisement in Amazon. This is the one I bought. As you can tell, I'll try to get up there close enough so you can see. That's what it is, and you can tell there are only 2 comments, and that was a problem because I couldn't find any good tutorials on it, even on YouTube. But that is it, and that's what it looks like. It's on my truck right now. First, I'm going to show you the various fittings, the instructions, so you can see what I was up against. Then we'll go look at it installed, and I'm going to sort of take it apart going backwards. Okay, these are the instructions, and I know it's probably useless to show them. I'll try to get in tight and show you basically that they really didn't explain anything. There's the other ones. It's not clear. They're not clear. I know they're not clear in this photo, but they're not clear, period. And that's the 2 pieces of paper they got to do this install with. And it certainly was a poor job of instructions by this company. Next, I wanted to show you these parts here, because these are what actually strap it down to the top of the truck. And there are these fittings here, and as you can tell, there are 4. Now there are 2 roof racks, so 2 roof racks have 2 anchor points, so 4 is all you need. If they sent me these 4 additional ones, because this isn't the style I used, I tried this style, but it really didn't work that great. And on these, they sent me 8. So, you know, I can understand them 4 and 4, and then 4 are the one I'm used, which you can't see here. I'm going to show you when I get down to the truck. But once again, it's just, who knows? You know, there's no instruction about any of it, so, you know, I don't know. It makes me wonder if I did something wrong because I have all these parts left over, you know, like the old Three Stooges kind of, when they would assemble stuff, and they'd always have a box full of parts left whenever they'd put the car together. That's sort of what I feel like today. But I did get it up there. Okay, we're out here looking at them now. I'm getting this direction instead of straight on because the sun's in such a poor direction, of course. But you can see, and if you look at them, they almost look like they're bowed. They're under quite a bit of pressure. Come up here and look at them from here. you see the locks on them. And I'll get up when I put them on. I just climbed up here, and this is how I installed them. But you can look down them and see that they're bowed. And when I started out, it wasn't like that. And it's the tension that's on them. And you can see they're on there pretty tight. But you can also see, if you look right here, it's not making contact with the top of the pickup, and it's still, and this one is even worse. You can see that gap, both sides. And I adjusted it many times. Now the instructions say you're supposed to tighten a little here and a little there and a little here and a little there. And I did that. And I think that's the problem. I'm gonna try it when I reset them to have somebody with me, and we're gonna go turn for turn. And I think when we do, it'll bring this down, and I think it'll take that bow out, because when I unloosen them, the bow comes out. Now, is that gonna be real problematic? Well, I'm gonna set a basket on top of it that's 64 by 50 by 4 inches. And that's what I'm talking about on why I need the 4-inch basket. I wouldn't even put one on there, but I'm gonna have to either do that, and I'll have a little storage that way. I can put like my kayak oar and the life jackets, and maybe even get the little outboard I'm gonna get for it in there. Or I can design some kind of thing that'll just fit the kayak. But that's an offset, and it's 4 inches, and I'll show you how I found that offset. But I think if I get a rack up here, I can just drape the kayak alongside it and then just strap it down on all 4 rails. And I think it'll be not only level with the basket that I'm gonna buy, but it'll also be secured very tightly. And I've measured it, and the 1212 Nucanoe Unlimited that I'm looking, it's going to come out about this far over on this side, and on the back it's going to come out about to here, and that's going to allow me to cinch it down to the strap as well, but it's going to allow me to hook up to my camper. So if you can picture it, kayak camper going down the road, and not having to worry about coming back home to get the Matty C, my old 1962 Boston Whaler that I'm restoring. But this way, it makes me a lot more mobile. I can take advantage of my camper. So I'm gonna deconstruct how I put these in and show you some of the problems I ran across there as well. Let's go to the other side though real quickly and see how badly it's off. Now you can see, once again, that one's off, and you can see that one's off too. And perhaps, and this way you can see the bow in it is. Okay, I'm gonna try to do this from the ground. If I'm right up there, I'm so close to it. But you got to put this lock in, and you got to turn it. The only way it will allow you to turn it, to tighten it or to loosen it, is if the lock is turned to the off position, which is you just need the individual key. Trying to do it with if it's on your keychain or even attached to the other one is an extreme hassle. You see, I just start doing this action here, and it doesn't take long for it to come up. Now I showed you the inside, the different ones of this mechanism here, and now you see the purpose of that mechanism. And I tried all 3 of them, and this one, and they only gave me 4 of it. That's why I didn't have an example upstairs. But I'm gonna pull this off. And as you can tell, it's long-winded. Well, I knew I was gonna do that. Never fails. But anyway, this is the other one. And I'll come take it upstairs here in a bit at the end, hopefully, if I remember, and compare it. But there were 4 of these, and they also give you these pads. Now you can already see that it's biting into this really bad. And these pads, they should have been longer. They give you 6 of them, but they're really not as long as they need to be. They should come all the way up under here. They should be a little sturdier. I mic'd them out with my silversmith in the shop, and they're 1/16 of an inch but I'm going to get something, I think 1/8 of an inch will work on it. Might be a little bit too big. You have to be careful because ultimately your clearance is on the door, so you don't want it rubbing on the door. But that's nothing but a recipe for disaster for scratching up your paint. And you know, I'm going to just use it temporarily, but even temporarily, when I get a kayak up there, you know what I mean, it's going to really, it's going to be exerting some force on it. And and as you can tell, it's not enough. But I will get that fixed, and I'll show it to you as I progress in this. Now I'm back over at the other side, and as you can see, I've loosened it. There's no reason to take them all the way off. You can just lift it up, and then you can bring it back. So they're easy on, easy off for sure. But I'm going to take them off, for all of them off for right now. But y'all have seen all the pertinent information you need to know. Oh, I will show you this, that now look at the rail. You see how it doesn't have any bend in it. And you know, this is another deal that, of course, if they would have had any kind of instruction on it whatsoever, well, I'm sure, you know, it came straight out of a plant in China, straight here. But not to have the instructions online. Here we go, I'm just filming this mess again. But I wanted to show you one more thing on it. It's got this little thing on it too, and what that does is it allows you to adjust these. These are problematic too, and the reason why is, let me just get back here, look down in here for one of my tools I was using. I would tighten it up like this. Of course, it doesn't have any tool to really tighten it up, and it's loose, so you can't, you know, you can see it moving around. But a couple of them actually snap. The other two didn't. And what that means, I have no idea. Does the integrity from rail to rail seem to be compromised because they're not snapping? As you can tell, I put the power to them. I used this little crescent as my wrench because it didn't have any wrench, and I got them tight. But I think in doing that, that could be causing the bow. So there are all these unknowns that I don't know. And I'm gonna do my best to contact the manufacturer. And if I don't get it in this episode, as I progress in this, I'll tell you the solutions I found out. But for right now, I'm just gonna take them off. And then when I get the help of a friend, I'm gonna retie them and see if we do them simultaneously, if that'll remove that gap and perhaps take the bow out of the crossbars. Yeah, overall, I'm not too impressed with these. We'll go to them 1-to-1. You can see how they're degrading, just being used a time or two. Look at each one. It's in the best shape, but it's still not perfect. I mean, they'll be okay, but I'm just gonna beef them up because I don't want to end up scratching. That's probably a scratch that I put on it when I was mounting them. A good thing about them is they're not bad looking. Rhino makes a similar product, and interestingly enough, I was driving down the road. They make the exact same thing, and plus they have a roof rack plate that goes on it that would have served my purpose as well. But once you buy both of those products, I mean, it's like $600. I mean, it was just so outlandish. And what I saw when I looked at the truck that was put up next to me, did it look better than this one? A little, but not a whole lot. At least not for me. I mean, I'm a name brand guy as much as the next guy, and this is my truck, so you know, you can tell I've spent some time and some money. This back here is a Yakima, which is, you know, top of the line. You know, here though, one of the reasons I didn't, if it was something permanent that I was going to install, I probably would have gone with the Rhino. But because I'm going to take it off once I get there, and I'm not going to use it when I'm just driving about town. But I still think it's going to be a good purchase. It's just, you know, I'm going to have to work over the problems. And unfortunately, most of those problems are directly due to not having good information from the manufacturer or from Amazon. Maybe I'm going to register a complaint with them as well, and maybe I can get y'all some decent information on it. As I promised, the 3 different securing pieces, I don't know what to call that, but these little flange pieces that secure it to the top of the truck. This is the one where they gave me like 12 of them. Or no, I'm sorry, they just gave me 8 of these. This one, they just gave me 4. This one, they just gave me 4. This is the one I ended up using, but I tried them all. And I had problems with all of them pulling it up. As I showed you outside on the vehicle, pulling that little rubber foot up off the roof of the truck, at the top of the roof. Anyway, this is the one that worked the best, though, by far. This one, not nearly enough. So if you buy one of these and you have an F-150 Ford, mine's a 2020. It doesn't even show that in the advertisement, but when I ordered it, it did require a specific year, and I entered my year on it, and it said it would work. But like I say, a lot of wasted stuff that you end up with. That kind of stuff that you hate to throw away, thinking, oh, someday I'm going to need that. So when you're older like me, I've carried around stuff like that for 40 years in my toolbox, still thinking I'm going to need something I bought back in the 1980s. Anyway. Okay, as you can tell with the roof rack, it worked pretty good. There were, definitely some problems. The way the foot pads were raised up off the roof, y'all saw that. I have driven around quite a bit around town with them, and they seem to be pretty sturdy. I got them up at highway speeds, and I drove it across some rough roads just to make sure before I take the next step, which is to put the basket that I'm going to find for it. I've looked at several on Amazon. I think I have the one I want. In the next video where I'm working on my truck, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show putting that basket on there, because it's going to raise it up to 6 inches that I need. As y'all saw from downstairs, the way the camper is with the raised roof, I had to put the rails on, and then on top of that, I'm going to put a 4-inch roof rack, which will bring everything level so I can slide my kayak up on there and fasten it down securely to the roof rack and the 2 back rails that are on the ranch camper top. So as you can see, it's going to be quite a project, but today we were able to get them up there, and they don't look bad. And I like the fact that they lock too, as y'all could see from the installation. It's a little bit frustrating, but all in all, I think they're going to work. And when I get them to wherever I'm going, I'm going to take them off. They make another fitting that actually fits in your trailer hitch post, that allows you to slide it in the back of the pickup. And once I get where I'm going, I'm gonna use one of those. I haven't purchased that yet either. If y'all are watching this and you're kayak owners, you sort of know what I'm up against on all this. And if you're not, hopefully it'll be a pretty fun journey to see how I get all this up there, because it's going to be sort of a trick. It's about an 80-pound kayak that's going to be up on top of my roof, and I've got to figure a way to get it off the roof and on the roof. I have some ideas, and I'm going to bring y'all along for the ride. And remember, like and subscribe. Please like and subscribe and comment. If you do, you'll be eligible for the giveaway of the coin bracelet that I made back in like episode 3 or 4. But we're going to be giving that away on summer solstice, which is the first day of summer. It's a $650 value, and all you have to do is become a subscriber and leave a comment, and you'll be eligible. Right now, we only have about 40 subscribers, so the odds of you winning this are pretty good, so you might want to get in on it. Anyway, we hope y'all enjoy the show, and I'll see you at the end of it.
Be there to switch.